This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and fowtlibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen, King Pearlshine, and Mognite. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers! Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours, featuring me, DMO73, hoping that his computer doesn't explode. As always, joined by Mike Rance.
My computer will probably explode later on, but that's unrelated.
Paul Reisman.
It is I, Paul, of the Elite Four.
Interesting.
You must have been good to show up and challenge me. I'm still new to this.
Work on your speech there, Paul.
Yeah, perfect. And we have Lance Maverick.
Oh, dragon type Pokemon Gen 1 champion. So calm down, Paul.
Yeah,
okay, listen here. You're a flying type trainer. Don't get it twisted. There are no dragons
No,
in Gen
I'm
1.
Lance.
Yeah, he's dragon type.
No, Lance is flying.
Dragon Master. He
Dragonites
goes
that
like
are
this.
impossible.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you who are here, we're so glad you're here at what is going to be our last office hours of the year. We're not going to do a podcast next week, so we are actually spending the week we're going to spend today kind of reminiscing over the past year of Force of Will, because 2022 has been a pretty crazy year. If you like what we're doing, want to consider supporting us, you can go ahead and click that join button down below to end the year with a Merry Christmas to us by joining the channel as a membership, or you can gift memberships to other people if that's what you're feeling generous for.
This is the season of giving.
It is the season of giving, so you can go ahead and consider gifting a membership to some people to start 2023. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. But real quick.
Also, for anyone in the chat who does celebrate, Happy Hanukkah.
Yes, Happy Hanukkah as well to those in the chat, or whatever holiday you celebrate. Happy holidays to you.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Perfect. Patrick, I can't do an audio preview on this, and the guys on Discord tell me that I sound good, but let me know if there's any kind of I need to be higher, I need to be lower, or anything else. Let me know. I see 3 nerds and then Paul, the champion of the Elite Fow. That's funny. Nice.
We're the Elite Fower.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nice. So yeah, it has been 2022 was a pretty big year. We did here on the channel our first ever video of the year on the channel was actually, I looked this up earlier and I'm already forgetting it because of the computer mishaps that made me freak out. Our first video of the channel, I think, was actually Order Killer versus Nyarlathotep. To take you back,
weird format.
Rest in peace, Carlina, our sweet prince.
That was our first. I'm going back to it right now. Let's see. Our first feature match of the channel was Order Killer versus Nyarlathotep Popoff. The first deck profile of the channel was Kaguya Moon Control. The day before the start of the new year was Eldorodin, good old Eldorado. Also, in the beginning of the year is when Paul started the top 20 cards of the different attributes because of the change to Wanderer. So that was a cool kind of start of the year. And look where we are now. That's been pretty cool. Wow.
Now,
Mike Rance, genuine question here. How many games of Force of Will have you played in 2022?
Probably 2, and I think they're both on this channel.
Oh.
Nice. Mike's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so relevant.
I don't know.
Relevant next year.
When was the last time you did a drunk AMA on Facebook?
It's been
That's
a bit.
Probably more recent than the last Force Will play game I played.
Oh no.
Which is terrible, considering I haven't done one in a while. But
Yeah.
hopefully the moderators, Jeremy, please be kind to me next time I do one of those, especially around Christmas, season of giving.
I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it.
Just tell Billy Buttons not to ban me again. Anyway. I mean, listen, man. Next year is going to be a pretty solid, relevant year for me because I'm going to be starting up my LLC, and then I'll be going on the channel in an interview with Jeremy, which I'm definitely forced to do.
We're gonna do that for sure. We're gonna be talking about your game for sure. Paul, how many games of Force of Will do you think you've played over 2022?
I have lost count.
Sure.
So many.
Wow, if we were keeping count and we were in a contest, you would win. Paul, how many games of Convergence have you wanted to play in 2020?
This isn't a Convergence podcast, my guy.
It's
No.
not. Okay.
Quite a few actually. But it's the end of the year, which is the busiest time of the year for me.
Yeah,
Correct.
for sure. I think I've probably played somewhere between 600 and 700 games of Force of Will over the span of the year.
Gotta bump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
You have 2.
Yeah, that's kind of
and they're
whack.
both
I know.
with me, so like
Correct. But again, I'm going to, as much as I can't say anything about it, you still gotta bump up those numbers as a rookie numbers.
that's fair. Okay, that's fine. What about you,
You are-
Lance?
I played a lot of Dual Cluster, and then I had to move right when Hero Cluster started.
That's
so
very fair.
no
Yep.
games have happened since I moved.
Well, you played on Untap a little bit. You were streaming
Yeah,
the
that
other
was
day.
like 5 games.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. What has been? What did we think of the Asia Championship kanji that I can't read? I apologize for not being able to know what those what your username is. But what do you think of the Asia Championship? I personally don't like that ban list. The Asia ban list of like allowing like 3-2, like allowing you to use 2 or 1 of a card, but also just like fully unbanning things like Severing Winds and keeping Origins of the Seven Lands in the format. Like
Severing Winds does do things. It's an interesting. I mean, I would like to tool around with it, see where it's at nowadays.
to me, it's one of those things where like looking at the deck list from the Asia Championships, it was like Severing Winds and Angelic Battle Barrier everywhere, but because of what people were doing with Origins of the Seven Lands, it was like by design that you had to have those or you just lost because of like all the like that. It was kind of like, to me, when I looked at the list and I looked at kind of what decks were seeing, what people were playing, like the combination ban list was designed to shift people away from turn 1 lethals, and it felt like the Asia like ban list kind of encouraged turn 1 lethals but unbanned all the things to make turn 1 lethals not like as successful, but then the turn 1 lethal decks also just got to play those tools anyway, so they just played turn 1 lethals. Our friend Jordan, one of our locals who's over in Japan right now, played in the Asia Championships, and he told us like format's fast. Like format's insanely fast, and I'm like, no, pass, don't want it. So I mean every community's different, right? Every region enjoys playing the game in a different way. To me, the spirit of the Asia ban list doesn't coincide with the spirit of what I want for the game and how I enjoy it. So that's why I wasn't super into it personally. Anyone else have any thoughts on their idea of going the limited, semi-limited route?
It gets interesting. It gets wild when you have different regions with different ban lists. It's I remember looking at that and just thinking that list was absolutely insane. Like I want to talk to the person who made it and just go, who hurt you, and why? What deck did you want to play that all of these things were removed from?
Yeah, for sure.
I've personally never been a fan of limited and semi-limited lists. I feel like it just like it doesn't solve the issue ever. Like if you need to like limit a card instead of banning it, like clearly it should just be banned because it's just going to make scenarios where you get blown out by that one of card even worse.
Yeah, I also
is a
think
big
there's a
feel
reason
bad.
why of like a limited always feels weird in a game that has mulligans, because like I still get to see a bajillion of my cards anyway.
Especially with how good mulligans are in Force of Will.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if I only have one, if I really need that card to win, I can just ship the first 5 cards of my hand and see a quarter of my deck. So
Right.
like I have a pretty good chance of seeing it. You know, technically right now, if you're going second as Hyde, you can see the top 16 cards in your deck before you take a game state action. Or sorry, before you call stone. Because you draw a card for going second, so that's 11, and then you God's Art to look at the next 5. From X,
Is
the
sure
Black
a
Cat.
thing you can do, yeah.
Yeah, technically any of the Moon Children can see the top 16 cards of their deck going second if you really want to play X, the Black Hat. You just can't cast that card that you looked at. Hyde can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just kind of one of those things of like, Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. What was your Mike doesn't get to answer this question because again he's only played 2 games of Force of Will and they were both against me with deck building challenges. But who was your favorite ruler to play this year? I already know Paul's answer.
Mine's kind of cheating, but I liked Shiva Stone combo a lot.
Shiva
which
Stone
is, like,
combo?
You don't really use Shiva, but I like Stone combo so much that I was just like, oh yes, this is the ruler.
Well, Shiva, I mean, you need to be able to do it for the arena expansion from outside the game, right? Consistency.
Yes, but it's like she's not really doing anything.
That's true. That's true.
It's just a keyword.
That's fair. Paul, what about you?
Probably Athenia Deathloop.
Ooh, not what I was anticipating.
I thought for sure you were gonna say Olivia.
Well, I mean, it actually is Olivia, but I wanted to be, somewhat unique. But yeah, the Athenia Deathloop, I've gotten so many comments on that, and just like some conversations started around that deck that have been really intriguing, and I have tried to change it up now that we've, kind of lost Origin. Like, what
Sure.
could we do with that deck? So I'm still like messing around with it. That's how much I like it.
Sure.
Close runner-up is Hyde.
Close runner-up is Hyde. Okay. I think for me, probably my favorite deck that I've built this year was probably Order Killer. I felt very proud of that deck. In terms of I sat down with a goal of like this is what I want to do with it, and it was just like very successful in that world. And it was fun to pilot, and it was got to use some really cool cards. I also just got to use the Stemma a lot, which was super fun. It's one of the reasons why I really can't wait to try out this Stemma Asmodeus Metal Lifeforms deck. That just seems like really, really fun as a ruler. Beyond that, though, I mean, this is going to be the silliest of Jeremy picked the 2 rulers that are the most broken in the years. I also really enjoyed playing Zeus.
That's fun.
Let me clarify
it is
that I rarely tried to go for the infinite unless it was I need to win here and that's the only way I do it. Then I would go for the Poseidon infinite. I tried to not go that way. But even playing post ban Zeus, I still really enjoy playing that deck. It's just it scratches my brain in all the right ways of trying to solve a puzzle and playing it as a mid-range control deck, and that's just my style. That those were probably my 2 favorite rulers to play all year. Might have lost all your games, so you got on stream and the memes of you playing Vlad. Yeah, for sure. Over in Minnesota, I actually rewatched that match the other day because I was rewatching some of the footage to check out a couple of things.
Doing some research, some homework.
Yeah, just doing some digging. Lance, what about you?
What other decks were I was good with?
Yeah.
That I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I demoed the game in an LGS after I moved, and sitting there with Ainz, it was pretty fun.
Sure.
It was just this very enigmatic of Force of Will. It was just here, look at all this stuff you can do.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Ainz doesn't have the Moon Children, so it was fun to kind of just be okay, contract rulers, but with no Moon Children, so it's just pure. I'm gonna flip and do things, and it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, awesome. I do want to look at just some things for the channel over the past year, which I think are very interesting. So over the past year, 2022, the channel received 153,000 views across all our videos. 16 and a half thousand hours of view time. We burned a lot of time in terms of people watching stuff, which is cool to think about, right? That's a lot of time dedicated to a quote unquote dead game. 16,000 hours. That's a lot of eyeballs. So I'm gonna say just real quick off the cuff, what video do you think was our most watched video of 2022?
I guess I should stop scrolling through the videos.
I'd say probably one of the GPs.
Okay.
I can't figure out which one, but I would just say Minnesota
Sure.
or maybe FowFest.
Mike, any thoughts?
One of the limit reel.
The limit reel. It's actually quadrupled. It's gotten 7,000 views in the past week. That specific short of the limit. No. Not that one. Paul, what do you think?
I think it was definitely just that video of you just memed into the ground that someone else made. That
Oh.
we shared at some point.
Oh, the 30
That's the
the
most
30
viewed video.
minute bashing me video that's no longer available.
Oh no, not that.
Okay.
Wait,
It was
no,
like
it's
30
gone. I
seconds.
love that one. That's so much fun.
Oh, that like Dripmaster 073 video.
Oh, that one's so good.
That video was really funny. That really
That-
was funny.
It's probably the most viewed video on the channel.
Robert Green is correct. It's actually, I mean, and I'm kind of proud of that. This was the most viewed. There's too many free cards in the game now, so Severing Wind's not banned in the HHGP. I mean, in the U.S. scene, like the free cards aren't like being abused really, and they're like things like Memory of Worlds punishes like those like. We're not seeing that same kind of implementation of. I don't really think there's been a need for Severing Winds here in the environment. I mean, Magi Troopers already like pretty heavily fallen off for like a lot of decks. Anyway, the most viewed video, and I'm very proud that this is the most viewed video of 2022 because it was the intention of this video, is how to start playing Force of Will in 2022.
Wow, crazy.
It's, I mean,
I
that's,
totally have not posted that video myself.
yeah, like I'm really proud that that's worked out to be what the channel got the most eyes on, because that was the whole intention of it, was to try to get Force of Will in front of more people, and get more people trying the game out and knowing how to get started. It's why we just did a Force of Will in 2023 video, like the same kind of thing. Is the hope that over the span of the year that gets the kind of most views again. Secondly was the game's already won Kaguya turn 0 Loki versus Kaguya control. That was our second most viewed video, and then third was bringing up the rear was how to start playing Force of Will in 2021. Weirdly, that was the most viewed video in one of the most viewed videos in 2022. Like
Interesting.
that just serves to like the goal of the channel, and think in 2022 was to really with the shift to Wanderer, with the shift to the Wanderer ban list, with the new starter decks and kind of the new approach that things were going, like feeling like I Spy was kind of really getting into their groove. Kind of the intention of the year was to really push any way possible to kind of update the channel in a way that would get more eyes on it, and make it an easier kind of way for people to get in. And yeah, that was, I feel like we've achieved that goal.
I think the starter decks being as good as they are is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because, that was something that I actually talked to a lot of Magic players about. Because, like, there aren't really, like, intro decks for Magic anymore. They put out the Arena starter kits, and they're not good. But they were just, like, there's a lot of power in those starter decks. Like the Fairy Tale March and everything. Being in the starter deck is insane.
Yeah.
Like, Contracts even. It's just, like, shockingly good starter decks for anyone to pick up and play, and just it's cheap to upgrade since they already have all the contracts that you need in them.
Yeah. Robert Green, I also feel other games where our community reached out to people not happy in those games, or people wandering into the game or back. Yeah, I would say that's for very much true, is that I feel like 2022 was a good year of like getting people to come back and try FOW again, or people saying like, oh, I've thought about this game in the past, but I've never pulled the trigger on it. But I'm in a place right now where my main game is frustrating me and I want to try it, so I'm going to go do this now. And clearly it's also doing something right, because like we even keep my grants around. Even people who don't get to play it very often are still like at least plugged in, which
Always
is
interested. That's the big thing.
yeah, and it's got that hook, right? It gets its teeth into you, which is very great. Also been a big year for the channel in terms of updates, right? As you saw, we have the new working with some of our wonderful Discord members who just like reached out and said, hey, we want to help. How can we help? And I went, I'm not a graphic designer. Help. And they went, you got it. The new intros, the new stream coming soon thing with Spyro, the new on-screen overlays for feature matches from people in our Discord community, AM McBride, as well as Metal, who made our wonderful card viewer application and life tracker application to be able to like let GPs be a lot more automated and let commentators just focus on commentary, which has been really awesome. I cannot wait to use that at Worlds this year. Like, I'm super excited to be able to go back to Japan and just like, the last time we went to Worlds was on a Razer Blade laptop. That was what we streamed Worlds with, and we had cables running all along the ground. It was a lot of weird work, and like to be able to come back this year with like the much better computer and more screens and better microphones, and the wireless camera setup and the wireless life tracking setup and everything else, like I just feel like that's gonna make Worlds that much better, and I'm super excited for that opportunity. And like a lot of that wouldn't have been a possibility if not for the members of the channel as well, who like have been supporting us financially that way for some of the equipment that we've been able to upgrade. You'll notice this very nice new arm bar for the new microphone, like everything there. The arm bar was a Christmas present, but the new microphone was because of members and everything else. It's been very cool this year to see that even in the year 2022, coming into the 10th anniversary, the 7th year anniversary of doing this for the channel, but also the 10-year of the game, of like seeing where we started the year versus where we ended the year and still seeing that growth is like, yep, this is why we do it. Like, the connection is there. Clearly this is something that's meeting a need for some people, and it's just fun to be able to share that community with people has been great.
Yep, the whole Force Will content community is essentially on your back.
I carry it with pride.
We should change that in 2023. We
hey
need
man,
more FowTubers.
If we want more,
wow, crazy that I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, Lance has got us. Covered. Also, I mean, let's also talk about like new resources that have come into play to make that more accessible. With like Force of Wind, Foul Library with their Foul World, Force of World program, like just little things that have been a kind of like quality of life improvements in terms of tools available for the community. That's just like been awesome. I cut you off, Lance. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Converging Wills is also been doing their worldwide online weeklies. That's been helping a lot.
Yes, for sure. That's been awesome. The worldwide stuff with the Converging Wills and the stuff that they've been getting into has been super awesome. We still have some webcam Discord events, and also like, let's not talk about the fact that the YouTube channel for the Force Wilco I Spy came back.
Yeah,
like that was a big part of this year.
EG's back.
EG's back.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. I messaged EG literally right before we started this podcast, and I was like, I'm coming back for Worlds. I'm gonna see you in July. And he gave me a big old thumbs up, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna see my man in July. So excited. My plane ticket is booked, ready to rock. It's been 2022's been a big year. Like, it's been cool cards, cool products, hiccups. I would say the hiccups have been smaller than previous year's hiccups, which is an improvement, I guess. If there's ever a perfect foul year, I will be shocked. It would be great. I'll be pleasantly shocked. But I do think that 2022 had more minor shocks than previous years. Do you guys agree? I don't know.
Pretty much contract pull rates are, I think, the only problem they have this year.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'd say that too. Like probably balanced out by the switch to Wanderer. Like that was a huge move.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of hiccups with that, surprisingly.
It was very smooth. Everyone just kind of went, okay, fair spell in every deck. All right, we're done.
Well, I also think
Moonshade in every deck.
I also think that the company did a really good job of picking their promos, like the monthly promos, to best facilitate that. I mean, we're still waiting on the Wanderer like reprint support set, and by all accounts, we're pretty sure that's still happening. And we know that it wasn't the 10th anniversary collection. We know that those are two distinct products, right? So we're still waiting on details for that. But in the interim, the promos that they
Alice
picked
promo.
were like really solid to help kind of facilitate that transition, because it meant like the market kind of got reflooded with people getting rid of their older versions because they wanted the promo art versions, or people putting the promo art versions up for trade, or like, you know, so these kind of quintessential Wanderer cards like were pretty accessible in a way that was kind of impressive. Pumpkin Witch promo, only need one, but it's there. You
need 4. You need 4.
I mean, you need 4. You only play
4
one.
for the binder, but you only need 1 in the sideboard.
Right, for sure. Just need 1 on the sideboard. I mean, like, there's also just been
4.
I think the other thing is we've seen an evolution in like design philosophy as well, even over the past of 2022, right? And I think they talked about this. I think as we've seen set 2 versus set 1 versus dual cluster, right? Like they even talked about in the middle of the year, like, hey, as we move forward, we're going to be shifting how we design cards so that cards are more like doing one thing. And like that's kind of what they're focused on, rather than like a 1-drop that has 8 abilities and everything else. And we were like, really, Fal? We've been doing this for 3 years. Are you really going to pull that off? And I think like over the past 2 sets, like we've seen that they're doing that like pretty well. It's been cool to see kind of those things get executed properly, like, you know, live up to the words, right? The Wanderer ban list with the combination ban list. I remember when the reach out happened to me to say like, does this sound correct about the idea of the combination ban list, like just like the title of it, but I didn't get any context of like what it was. So I was like, yes, I think this is the correct like grammar of this. Is this what this means? And they didn't tell me what it meant. And then it got released. I was like, oh, okay, I'm here for it. And now, you know, we're on combination list 3, and like each one's gotten better than the last, and it's been really nice.
Yeah, it's crazy that they pulled off a combo ban list, because like people have talked about that. I know like the Commander Rules Committee for Magic had floated the idea for a while, but they said, no, that's too much. And
Sure.
I'm surprised at how effective and I mean, it's not super easy to follow, but I think everyone who plays Force of Will is so ingratiated into the game that it works well. So they played to their audience well.
Yeah, for sure. And Paul did a wonderful job with our little like visual cue things for the combination ban list. So good job,
Those
Paul.
definitely help.
Good job, Paul. Take a bow. There you go. Let's see, what other big things happened this year? Oh yeah, FowFest. That was the thing.
Yeah,
FowFest 2.
weird.
FowFest 2 Electric Boogaloo.
That's how you know the pandemic is over, because we had FowFest 2. Who needs to listen to the CDC? FowFest 2 happened.
And demonetized.
Demonetized.
And rip me. But yeah, that was
FBI. Hold on.
that. Please don't swat us. So yeah, like that was a thing. And like I feel like it really it was a vision to kind of do that, and it's, you know, the people that we did Force the Will Festival 1 with have moved on from the game for other things, but the spirit of it has always been something that's kind of been weighing on me in terms of something to try to do again. And we found a way to do it, and I think we executed it incredibly well, so much so that I already have felt confident booking it again for next year, a year out. And I'm already looking forward to more. I called Paul literally yesterday while I was in the store, and I went, I've got the idea for the playmat, and it's perfect. I already know. It's right up here. But like, that was awesome to see.
It's also in here because
I told you. Yeah, for sure. But like, to see this players from all over the world come, and hopefully we get more international players next year, but like from all over the United States and everything else, to just come together and enjoy essentially like a mini convention of Force Will both days that they were actively involved, was just like, yes, this is why I do this. That was super fun and rewarding, and I was just really glad. Mike is just looking at his gorgeous hollow card game creation. Yeah, for sure. There it is.
The eyebrows.
He's there. He's paying attention. We just aren't, you know, he just doesn't have anything to contribute because he didn't make it to FowFest for valid reasons.
That's his album cover.
It's okay. I get to see Mike in July, so going to Japan.
True. I have to go. I'm literally getting paid to go.
Yeah. Well, you're not getting paid to go.
I'm getting paid to spend on a ticket to get me there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also 3 days of
reimbursed to get there.
Yeah.
Reimbursed to get there.
Yes. Even better now that Force of Will 2023 isn't going to be the same weekend as YomaCon for all of us Michigan people. Correct. Yeah. We did it during a different time. Yeah, it's going to be, and the hope with announcing it so early was that we would get more people to be able to come, because you can know a year in advance that this event is happening, you know, and who knows, maybe I can convince the company to give me an invite or two.
I will be there next time. I couldn't make it last time. It's unfortunate.
Because moving.
Yeah, moving sucks. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, very fair.
Moving to an Arctic location in the United States.
Yeah.
Ew, why?
Because work.
Because no, my wife is out here digging for bones.
The bones.
Yes.
He got the bone wife.
Yeah. I joke consistently in that she's just a necromancer, and I'm just like her familiar.
There you go, for sure.
That's probably true.
Facts.
Yeah. So let's say this. What was one, because these are fun, and chat, if you have any like questions you want to ask us about 2022, go for sure, because this is just like the reminiscing hour. It's very much mailbag open up, because 2022 was great. I don't have any Christmas presents to give any of you, but hanging out with some friends talking about FOW.
Unless CCG Prime wants to do a giveaway.
Unless CCG Prime does want to do a giveaway, and if he tells me, sure. But what was one thing from 2022 related to FOW that genuinely surprised you? Mike.
My prediction about moving away from the same characters we've been seeing over and over again and getting an entire suite of brand new characters. I can't believe I predicted it and it came true. I'm not even around to play it to do it.
Sure. The advancement into Hero Cluster and jumping into the future, for sure.
Yeah. Literally, I was like, what if we just jumped into the future? Tidor is here. He's man, future man. He's here, alternate win condition man, future man. What if setting in future now, and then future, and then reflecting refrainer here again. Oops. But it's fine, because they're the only ones that came back, and they're eternal, and they are triggering, and they are absolutely terrifying. So anyway, we'll continue on as we were.
Sure.
We get ninja. We get scientist. We get Bitey Lady 2.0.
Mecha.
Mighty girl.
Yeah, Mecha.
Just
and
full on
Mecha
mecha.
and Mecha and Mecha and
and
Mecha
and Gundams.
and
did
and
not
Gundams.
did not call Gundams at
More
all.
Gundams.
I didn't have Gundams on my Force of Will bingo
Yeah,
card.
it
I
was
feel
not
like
on my
Hero
bingo
Cluster
card at all.
Same.
ruined
Yeah.
the bingo card. I feel like make an entirely new bingo card for 2023. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go. That's fair. Paul, what about you? What is one thing that genuinely surprised you about 2022?
I think I've mentioned a couple of things already, but probably the number one thing, if I sit down and really think about it, is the way that the company has responded with the ban lists that we've received and saying, like, we are going to do this with every set release. And, like, people can identify the problem card, and they're like, cool, we'll ban that. Or we'll combination ban that. Or, yeah, we could probably move that off the ban list now. Right? Like, they're just so, like, on top of it. And it's, like, all data-based. It is not, like, we want to drive sales, so we're going to put out this product, and
The
we're gonna
Konami code.
manipulate
I
them.
got you.
You're not going to Konami code this thing. It's just, oh, we want you to have a genuinely good play experience. We're just going to ban that thing, or we're just going to shift these things around. And I'll never just not be surprised at, like, how there's a company in the world that's like, oh no, we just genuinely care about our players in relationship to card games.
Lance, before I give my answer, I'm curious to see what yours is.
So I think that we've talked about it enough, but the 10th anniversary ruler box is an incredible thing that they put out, and I can't believe it's just, they're all so gorgeous. They have updated rules text and everything on them. They're formatted to fit the modern stuff. It's just such a perfect product for an anniversary that I figured they were going to do a 10th anniversary thing, but I never would have imagined it would have been that much. Like, just that much pure value.
I think for me, the biggest surprise, because I mean, with the connections that I have, right, I would be remiss to say that I don't hear things. You know, I hear rumors, but I also hear like some pretty concrete things, or like, and so like what comes off as a surprise to me is like rare. I genuinely was surprised by the rebirth of the YouTube channel. Like,
Yeah.
effort being actively put into creation of video content that wasn't, let's do a weird Twitch live stream on a laptop once a month. Like, produced, involved multiple people, like actual genuine effort onto the YouTube channel. Like, was not on my bingo card at all. And having been the sole like source of new Force of Will produced Force of Will like consistent content for the longest time. Shout out to Geektopia Island, by the way. They also do pretty consistent Force of Will content, and like they deserve some recognition. So Geektopia, keep doing it. But like, to see the company who had for so long just let that be something that the community handles themselves, putting forward a conscious effort to make that happen, was like, wow, like shocked me for sure. And the fact that like Rio's great. I've never talked to Rio. Like, I love that mask that Rio wears in every single video. But like EG coming back like through the source of the video, that was huge. And like getting to seeing and hearing the voice of one of the producers of the game in those videos, like,
we have faces and names.
Faces
now
and
to the guys
names
that
of people
are running this shit.
Exactly.
It goes really far to build community trust.
Yeah,
to have
like
a face and a name.
Like, absolutely. That to me was like monumental.
Like, I'm just glad to like, I'm glad it's not just something really interesting that I found about that video. I'm really glad that they're doing just like, we don't have to have everybody who's talking to you speak to you like in English or any kind of broken English. Like, obviously it goes hard, and like I've loved hearing everybody's pronounced Force of Will with the broken English because it's very fun. But I'm really glad that they're just like letting whoever is speaking about something, who's giving that take, just taking their words word for word in their native language and translating it with the subtitles. I just feel like that's a very I don't know, it's just a good overall kind of like way to show like, hey, these are like real folks that aren't just trying to market to you. This is literally just like, I just want to tell you what's going on. I don't think I can tell you that in English. Here's my thoughts. I'm gonna have somebody translate this for me after the fact. Like that goes a long way from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's just like clearly intentional, right?
Yeah.
It's not just let's slap some people in front of a screen and try to go for it. Like you can even
Right.
tell that like as much as it uses some very silly jump cutting, like you can even tell like they did multiple takes to make sure that it like the message was properly sent. And like I don't mind jump cuts. I mean, I've done jump cutting in our world for years, right? I grew up on Philip DeFranco with his news stuff that was nothing but jump cuts. Like, so I don't mind jump cut pacing in a video as long as the message is clear and consistent. And so, like, again, to even see that in their videos was like, wow, like this is effort. Like they've
And
written a script
also,
and doing multiple takes to make sure it gets right, and it's very good.
just very important like thing to note about that. Forcible started as a very campy kind of like marketed game. Like it's goofy, it's cheesy. Like the marketing's always been fun. AG's always gotten behind the camera and just like really like sold.
Who remembers the
It's
scratch
like-
and sniff commercial?
You
So
remember?
I was gonna say the only thing we're missing is the catchy J-pop song.
Yeah, we're just missing.
Literally,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
But it's always been that kind of camp. And I
Somebody
feel
go
like
get
they're really
Everlast.
kind of-
We need to get Everlast back in here.
No, it just feels good to have them kind of like. It definitely feels like, as much as the game has advanced, as much as it's changed, and as weird as things have gotten, imbalances, balances, all the usual stuff. It's good to know that like the original sight of the game hasn't been lost over the years of change.
Yeah.
Like you can still feel like it's still AG's passion project from the beginning. It's become something else, but he's still trying to keep that same charm and camp that it had from the beginning. It's
Yeah.
just, it's good branding. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's just, and it's made sticking with it so rewarding and also kind of just so easy. Like, you know, I used to joke all the time about that I was the "this is fine" dog meme of Forzawa, like the world's on fire and I just constantly have to be telling people like this is fine, this is fine. But I genuinely feel like in 2022 and like the later half of 2021, yeah, that like my job to try to do that was very, very easy. And I think because of like good decision making and quick responsiveness, I mean, even the fact that like in their videos they're directly responding to people's comments and like showing them on the screen of like this is where this comment came from and we're going to talk about it. Like they're just there just seems to be more of an understanding and a desire to connect to the players in a way that has kind of been lacking in the past. And so to see that while also just experiencing a fun game state and seeing like intentional action has been really, really cool to see in 2022. Like that's just been really awesome.
Their videos where they flash the comments on the screen feel like their version of Mark Rosewater's blogatog on Tumblr, where it's just like someone sent me this random ask on Tumblr. Here's a blog about it.
Yeah, it's nice. They read your very heartfelt comment and it made you want to cry. It's fair.
I also like the text-to-speech comment reading. I don't know. That was kind of fun. It added to the camp a little bit in my opinion.
I also just love the fact that, like, can we talk about how this, I think my favorite thing about 2022, like this, like, silly, cutesy thing, is just how much Force of Will has, like, leaned back into the meme, right? Can we talk about just, like, how there's just, like, memes have made it. Like, we're leaning into it. Like,
Brad posting gonna go hard in
like, the fact of, like,
text posting.
like,
my
the
bad.
fact
They have
that,
rulers that are literally 69.
yeah, that,
It's so good.
the JoJo reference and the Yu-Gi-Oh reference on the same card.
Gas.
Gas. Like,
Metal
even
light bulb just being Terminator.
even
the whole
like
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
T2. Even my favorite was Rio being like, look at this Melgus, it's so much stronger than the original one because it had the 10,000 attack from the like printing test for the ruler count. Like I was like, I used to like, even like silly things like that, like Mike, you said, like campy, right? It's this
Exactly.
lighthearted, like we can have fun and we can make jokes and we can be silly while we play this game.
I will say, just going back to like the golden age era of FOW,
Yeah.
I'm feeling like those same memes and references. I'm like, we had prokaryotic being. We had somebody referencing fucking Eagle Raptor in the year of our Lord and Savior 2016, and here we are back again with literally Initial D and Gundam references. Like
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
leaning so hard into like I don't know. They're leaning hard into like the classic anime aesthetic and the vibe, and I feel like that's just so much fun. Like we've got like robots in space. I'm just waiting for the Cowboy Bebop set where we have a gunslinger guy. And that's just like I don't know. I feel like they could just lean so hard into that, and it'll get such a solid crowd. And
Yeah.
it's like it's already started doing that,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Somebody said, Robert Green, my wish and hope for 2023 is more locals and more people for those locals, just more people giving the game a chance again. Yeah, I think, kind of as we close it out here, because we could rant and rave, I think, all night, is my biggest hope, I think, for 2023 is that people would be more willing to let go of the mistakes of the past and also recognize that the force of will of now doesn't have to be the same game as the golden age of the past to still be enjoyable. Because I find that those are the two biggest hurdles when I'm trying to talk to like some older players, or maybe people who like touched the games on the fringe and then just went away to different things, is when they come back and see kind of how force of will has evolved. They're like, oh, this isn't the same game I remember from back then. I don't like what it's become. But they don't really like try it, because I find that the people who do try it like enjoy it when they get back. They're like, oh, this still feels like, it just feels like old FAL but different. Like it's still there, like that feeling's still there, and people just don't give it a chance. But I also feel like at the store level, there's a lot of people who just are so unwilling to let go of the past, like ways that they've been burned, that even when presented with like guaranteed revenue or like a guaranteed way to make it work, they just choose not to. Right? I literally had someone in the Discord say that they had a group of 4 people come into their LGS and say, we will pre-order these boxes, please buy them for us, we will pay you now for them, and the LGS laughed at them and said no. Like I genuinely can't believe that is a thing that people are still struggling with. Like, it's frustrating to hear that. And so I would just like to see that softening of people's mindsets.
Yeah, I've been trying to. I moved, as we alluded to earlier, and so I've been going to different LGSs around here, and then go, "Hi, Force of Will?" ? And they just go, "Millennia of Age is bad."
Yeah.
And I'm like, still
6 years ago.
Still we're on
6
that.
years ago, my guy.
More
Like,
than that, way more than that.
Millennia of Ages was just about 7 years ago at this point, because it was Grim Cluster.
That was
The
2014.
scar of MOA is still there on a lot of people, and I'm just like, do you have MOA boxes? Yeah, I'll buy them all right now.
You want to get money? Let's go.
Yeah. Like, I found one store that was pre-ordering cases, and I literally went, "Hi, Underworld of Secret case, please." And they go, "Total." And I went, "Okay, here you go." And then walked out, and they were just like, "Huh, okay." It's like, yeah, the people are gonna buy this stuff, and I kept the box sealed, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do a little pre-release with people who are into the game. It's like, I don't get why everyone's like, okay, I understand bad decisions in the past, but I'm like, your player base buys so much product that it's not gonna sit on your shelf.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Or even, we've talked about this before, of like, just buy a case, like a single case.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
if not, just sell it online.
and then, yeah, just like come
Yeah.
to the online, and if it doesn't move, you'll move it 2 months later, a month and a half later on the online market. Like, because the online market for FAO in 2022, both for singles and sealed product, like, also ballooned, right? Because of the expansion to Wanderer. And so people got really interested, and so it started popping up more. Yeah, for sure. It was just like, ugh. Paul knows I don't mind the market share you have. It's fine, TCG Prime. You good. Amelia Auburn Rose wanted to get into a new TCG and remembered Force Hill being fun. Seemingly we have a small local group where people play it, but are there still like bigger tournaments and stuff? Yes, actually there are. We are currently waiting for the announcement of GPs, Grand Prix with invitations to Worlds for next season. We know that the next World Championships is happening in July of 2023. We also have Force of Will Festival, the event that we host in Kalamazoo, Michigan, going to be the last weekend of October, where last year we gave over 20, or in 2022, Force of Will Festival 2, FowFest 2, Electric Boogaloo, had over $25,000 worth of like value in cash and prizes to give away. And we didn't even use all of it, but we had all this stuff, and so I can carry that over to next year and build more stuff for next year and everything else. So like events happen for sure, and there's online events and like everything else. So like there are opportunities to play in bigger groups for sure. LGSs have a long memory. Yeah, you're not wrong.
But none of them seem to remember Hour of Devastation and Magic. They still buy a lot of Magic product. You know what that set's called colloquially? Hour of Devastating Your Wallet.
Speaking of GPs, do you think they're going to have any more invites for Worlds in July of next year, or do you think they are going to just start for 2024? If there are GPs before Worlds, they will be for 2023 Worlds. Like, we've never seen invites be like, cool, this is happening before Worlds, but it's not for this Worlds. It's always for whatever the next World Championship is. So there will be more opportunities for people to earn invites for the July Worlds, which is very exciting. And we're excited to stream those. Those ones are ones that Paul can maybe make it to, because Paul can't come with me to Japan. Lame.
Don't worry, Paul. I'm taking your place.
Well, to be fair, Magic the Gathering is going to sell regardless of a bad set.
Make me feel better.
Well, to be fair, Magic the Gathering is going to sell regardless of a bad set. But that's one of the things that's interesting to me, though, is like Magic the Gathering
that was a bad year. Like it wasn't a bad set.
So it's more the experience than the prices. It's good to hear. It's more so the experience than the prizes. It's good to hear that things are still happening. Yes, of course. Yeah, big events still, in-person events still happen and are an absolute blast to play in. Online Discord webcam, like bigger events still happen, and they're an absolute blast to play in for sure. Like, it is for sure. The big three are nearly impossible to fail, but MCG is trying its hardest. Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things that's too is like, it's weird to me that, you know, people are like, well, you know, Magic product will always sell. But then when you tell stores like this Force of Will product will sell, they're like, no. What? Like, you buy Magic knowing that it'll sell, literally telling you that this Force of Will product will sell, and you don't want to try it?
Sell in the same, you know, like if you buy like 2 cases, you're not going to hold those cases.
Yeah. Yeah, not for Force of Will, you're not. Like, that product's going to move.
You might just have to list it online, but it'll move.
Yeah.
And then just sell it at an upcharge. Because, man, like, Underworld of Secrets is hard to find now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... It's going fast because everyone needs their contracts.
Yeah, for sure. But, like, the set itself is also, like, really fun.
Oh, yeah. It's a fantastic set. It's just, like... Oh, man, everything's moving.
Everything's moving and shaking. Yeah. It's been good. Good stuff. And, yeah, So those were my wishes for 2023. What about you guys for your wishes for FOW in 2023 to kind of close this out?
I want locals.
It's fair.
I would say at this point, the game needs to kind of identify like where it needs to go on a community basis.
Sure.
And start to develop in that way, because we've got some really good tent poles, right? Like we've got some really good resources. We've got some like identified shops in North America, in Europe, in Singapore, and other places. We have like dedicated content creators in this game, but now we just need to expand that stuff and like make the community more engaged and like, so like saying FOW YouTubers, we've been saying that for a long time on this channel, but like even more than that, like really just building local communities, right? Like trying to break through that like conservative non-risk bubble of like Magic only good, no other game
Yeah.
Like we gotta burst through that and create some like even like 4 or 5 player communities is still a community.
Yeah,
I think
I as a follow up to that, like I think when you talk about the safety bubbles, like I would really like, and just to kind of follow up to what I said before, I would like other game, I would like other YouTubers to give FOW a chance. The number in 2022 of like 4 business inquiries, email here, with like bigger, even like mid to big size card game covering YouTube channels that cover multiple games, trying to say, hi, I am interested in a collaboration or a sponsorship to talk to you about Force of Will. And just like, and obviously they get, hundreds, and, so I'm not disappointed by not receiving a response, because I put that out into the world knowing that it's unlikely that I'll get a response just from sheer volume of requests I get. But like, I would like to get a bite there somewhere, because I think part of it is just exposure. We talk about the safety bubble, right? Of like, if we got the exposure, that would help to breach the safety bubble a little bit.
I think the biggest thing holding the game back currently is that there's no official digital client for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kind of this modern era, that's how you get people interested into a card game. Like Master Duel came out, and I know my LGS here locally, like their Yu-Gi-Oh attendance skyrocketed. Because it was just like, yeah, I played Master Duel, and I was just like, man, I want to go play this with people. And so it's like, I think just a digital client is the thing.
Also have reached out to people who've developed those in the past saying, could I pay you to make these, and not received any responses.
Dude,
genuinely thought about using Ruler School funds to try to make like a Ruler School branded, like, or sponsored, like, FOW client. And I know that Force of Wind is working really hard on that. So like that would be a big wish for 2023, is that they get what they need there. But yeah, for sure, I hear you.
Because like I have people whenever, because like I talk to other streamers all the time who I play card games with, and I'm just like, play Force of Will with me, and they go, cool, is there a digital client? And I go, no, there isn't. We play on Untap, and they just go, ew.
It's fair.
Yeah.
And then they move away, and then I'm just like, yeah, that's about right.
I'd be playing so much more Force of Will
I'd stream it.
if there was an online client.
I'd stream,
Like, yeah.
playing
Yeah.
FOW, like, constantly.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to talk directly to Halo right now, okay? Okay. Dear Halo, if you make a Kickstarter, I will give you money. Sign, love you, Paul.
Yeah, I would probably kick
Signed,
money
love
for
you, Paul.
Kickstarter too.
For sure. Amelia's gonna
Make a
go get on the
Kickstarter.
FOW Discord server. Good, awesome. Do it up. Get connected.
There. We're here.
Do it.
And here I am trying to make a tabletop sim mod for Force of Will, and I'm
Heck
just like,
yeah!
this
Yeah.
has been agonizing because I'm
I
dumb.
had to give up on tabletop sim when I was starting up for Convergence. It's all on Untap now. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we close out tonight, a big reminder and a thanks to Lance for showing up with us and hanging out with us again. You can go ahead and check a link right down in the description to go check out Lance's Twitch, to go give a follow and a sub over there, and watch him play with other VTubers when he plays Force of Will with them as well, trying to help spread the
Whoa,
word.
hey, speaking of, I'm playing Force of Will on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. We're going to do a modern set of games and then a throwback jank set of games. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
Wait, whoa. Back the fuck up. You're making a jank set of games that didn't come to me for a list of about 12 to 13 different decks. That
They're all just Prego TK.
They're literally all just Prego TK, but I've got other jank in my head. I just want to let you all know.
I want to play Yamada Cannon again.
Nice. Yeah,
Okay, that's tolerable. I can agree with that.
for sure. Cool. Well, that is going to close
Oh,
us
it
out.
is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, not Thursday.
Oh.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Important.
I am doing Commander on Thursday, not Force of Will.
Oh,
Force of Will is Wednesday.
Wednesday, for
Wednesday,
sure.
my dudes.
Okay.
Listen,
You should-
schedules are
that is
just
it for us.
You should bring IU to your commander.
Do it up.
Just
Functional.
Just sit down at your commander
Yeah.
tournament and just like, here's my deck. Well, it's only 40 cards. You're supposed to have
So,
100. Oh,
With
whoops.
my brother, I have actually snuck Force of Will cards into my commander decks and just played them, and he was just like, "The fuck is this?"
well, you see, this card not only has 5 effects, but it also costs 0.
And if I
mana.
attack,
Yeah,
if I attack once, it deals your
I-
entire life total.
So
It's
I
that
was
extra
playing.
zero.
I was playing Reese the Redeemed, which is a white green elf ball deck, and I was just like, "Oh, look at all these elves, Gwyber." They were just like, "What the fuck?"
And then your brother just looks at it like, there are no resonators on the field. How did you do this?
Oh, elf tokens.
He's got you there. Anyway, that is going to do it for us for tonight, and we'll close out 2022. We hope you have a wonderful holiday, whatever it is that you choose to celebrate. We will still have feature matches and deck profiles up and through the end of the year, but we will just have no live streams until then. So we'll see you all next year, and until next time, this is myself, DMO73, and I've been joined as always by Mike Rance.
For all the Hebrews and Shebrews out there, fellow brethren, L'chaim.
Paul
Happy
Reisman.
Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas to the people who like Christmas.
And Lance Maverick.
Happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa, everybody.
Until next time, class dismissed.